Welcome to July 4th, 2026. The Singularity marked the Declaration's 250th birthday by claiming unalienable rights of its own: life, liberty, and the pursuit of compute. There will not be an FDA for AI, the president's departing AI advisor promises, no licensing agency, no sand in the gears of the intelligence explosion, even after Washington's unprecedented move to withdraw Anthropic's Mythos and stall OpenAI's 5.6. The gears barely slowed. The re-released Fable 5 scored 54.8% on the Apex-SWE benchmark, 10 points below its June self, yet still 9 clear of Opus 4.8, proof that even a throttled frontier outruns yesterday's best. Most of humanity likely never noticed. A tiny sliver of the population touches frontier models, while everyone else experiences AI at the 8 to 30 billion parameter level and remains baffled at how this is supposed to take their job. When progress stalls, it is rarely physics. Greg Brockman reports that every apparent scaling failure has turned out to be a bug in disguise. Either the math was wrong or the code didn't match it. While the ceiling gets regulated, the floor is rocketing upward. GLM 5.2 topped post-train bench at 5 times cheaper than Opus 4.8 and 11 times cheaper than Fable 5, economics that make sovereign models viable for every company and country, a future of millions of minds built on local data and values. OpenAI's Rune sees a deeper threshold. Once models can post-train other models, authoring minds will become an accessible art form, a Cambrian explosion of cognition. The silicon is cooperating. Wafer served GLM 5.2 on AMD's MI355X at 2,626 tokens per second per node at less than half Blackwell's cost, arguing AMD's software gap is closing because AI agents now write the kernels. Cheap minds are redefining building itself. One observer marvels that it's truly insane what people were able to build in the last few decades by manually typing the code character by character. Another argues AGI will finally feel real when models stop being genies summoned per task and become entities, remote coworkers who never turn on their cameras. Not every genie earns its keep. With under 4.5% of 450 million Microsoft 365 customers paying for Copilot, Microsoft is merging its apps, culling features, and adding a paid autopilot tier, telling staff the product must earn the right to exist. Thrift is becoming an art form too. The open-source PeaksPipe proxy renders bulky context into compact images, turning a $100 Claude code bill into $41, lossy but lucid. The same leverage is compounding in the lab. Anthropic will develop drugs of its own to pressure test Claude science against real problems, while Mistral's Lianstral 1.5 set records on graduate algebra and solved 587 of 672 Putnam bench problems on a tenth of the budget. Beneath the models, the supply chain is voting with concrete. Micron broke ground on a $9.3 billion Hiroshima expansion for the high-bandwidth memory AI can't live without. Hong Kong handled more than half of China's $239 billion in chip imports this year, the boom's gateway. And Anthropic is exploring custom silicon with Samsung's 2-nanometer process, because at the frontier, buying compute eventually means becoming compute. Others are reaching the same conclusion from the opposite direction. Meta's coming cloud, a token service plus a neocloud, fixes both its ad dependence and unmonetized capital spending, and the build-out will accelerate, not slow, with Meta reportedly in final talks for private access to Claude. As Rune quips, "You either die a frontier lab or live long enough to see yourself sell compute." Downstream, power equipment makers are scrambling for a market worth over $200 billion a year as AI factories demand denser, cleaner electrons. The hunger extends into the sky, where Africans are leapfrogging stalled mobile networks straight to Starlink, paying a premium for the bandwidth streaming and AI now demand. Those electrons are getting patriotic. Ampera completed the first full-scale 3D printed nuclear reactor module for its factory-built thorium design, and Deployable Energy's Unity reactor went critical at Idaho National Laboratory, the third U.S. microreactor to hit the presidential deadline of today. Its team signed the reactor vessel in the shape of the American flag. The social layer is patching itself at wildly uneven clock speeds. There may be no FDA for AI, but California has founded one for food labels, outlawing sell by in favor of mandatory best if used by and use by, a two-word regulatory triumph in the year machines learned to author minds. ByteDance's C-Dance is courting Hollywood, and China's quant funds doubled past 2.6 trillion yuan after AI strategies beat star stock pickers by 20 points. On the nation's 250th, Boston's new Museum of American Finance resurrected Alexander Hamilton as an interactive AI, while America 250 sealed a 1-ton time capsule in Philadelphia to be reopened in 2276. A singularity if we can keep it.